Welcome back to Improvision Entertainment. My name is Hunterman.
My name's Malcolm Fat.
My name is Chuck Beers.
And these two are just on call to have a conversation with me as I travel across Europe because, man, I just finished making an entire guide for myself for trying to go for all the achievements in this game, and they're a lot more dedicated than the ones for American Truck Simulator, because for example, they have achievements for going to every road in the game, like Forza Horizon, and those have been a problem for me in the past as achievements. Whoops, you know what? I ended last stream forgetting to take it off of the main screen and full-sizing the game, and I almost did it just there. What a way to start. And the problem with those is that inevitably you will miss a tiny, tiny, tiny little chunk of road somewhere, and that will cause you to not get the achievement.
It's like that 1% is just like just annoying. And like, do you get any like points for like, how many times you crossed a border or like stuff like that?
Well, okay, so let me go ahead and I guess talk about the achievement list as it stands. So the achievement list as it stands, I've put into a couple of categories. Some are just categorized by their actual DLC, so no big deal. Because like those I will have to actually dedicate time to, like things like use every single port in Scandinavia because I got Scandinavia DLC. So at some point I will have to dedicate myself to going after the ports. I will probably have done a few of them by that point, and maybe we'll look out and we won't have to do every one of them to get the achievement. We'll just have to do the ones we haven't done yet. But then there are other achievements, like there's an achievement for revealing 60% of the map. But the problem with that achievement, and also the 100% achievement, is that 100% of the map, is that, like fucking trophies on goddamn PlayStation Network, your percentage lowers as DLC comes out.
That's nasty.
Yeah. So it's not go to 100% of the roads in the base game, it's go to 100% of the roads that you have access to.
So they're just like literally like, oh, you did a great job. So we're gonna just move the goalpost. See you later.
Yeah, my least favorite on the PlayStation Network specifically is that even if you get to 100% and you get all of the achievements, you'll have a little listing next to your name that says that you have Platinum Trophy and that you did everything, and then some DLC will come out that you don't care about and be like, and now you've completed 80% of the game and have the Platinum. Like, what? Fuck you! No, I completed 100% of the game and have the Platinum. I have completed 0% of the DLC, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm just not okay with how you're displaying it to me, saying that I have 80% achievement and also Platinum. That doesn't make any sense.
I have both!
So categories-wise, so one of the things I did was I took everything that's like, basically every DLC has a visit every city in this DLC achievement. So I just put those under the do 100% of the map achievement. I figure that makes the most sense. So I've categorized things into like, basically easy, don't need to try, it'll just happen. Easy try, which is, this isn't hard, but I'm going to have to actively try to do it or I'm going to miss it, or I'm just not going to get around to it. Things like transport one of every type of cargo, or rather, not one of every type of cargo. That's just easy. That'll just happen. But like, transport livestock to every farm in Scandinavia, I think, is one of them. So that's not hard, but it's not something I will probably have an active checklist for.
Yeah.
I went the wrong way.
Yeah. Oh no.
I took a turn too early.
And do they have all these like achievements in same with American Truck Simulator?
Well, in American Truck Simulator, there are still the achievements for go to every city in a state, right? Pretty much all of the American Truck Simulator starts with California and Nevada, and also at some point they added Arizona for free. So you could count those as the base game. And every one of those has an achievement for going to every single city in California, in Nevada, in Arizona. Cool. Okay. But there's not a specifically turn every segment of road from gray to orange, counting for 100% road travel, like there is in ETS. ETS is the older game. So basically, my determination is not only is ETS a little bit, I would say it's a little bit harder of a game, as far as like just having to travel, because European roads have existed way, way longer than highways, and that's not necessarily true for America.
Oh yeah. Like, there's no like ancient American road where they're like, oh yeah, this is where the people from Cincinnati marched all the way to Colorado to take over Colorado.
Right, exactly, and that is one of the benefits of American Truck Simulator. Is our roads are, by comparison, really boring and kind of standardized, and they kind of just, I mean, come on. We invented roadways for cars. I mean, we invented cars. So, like, that was our whole thing. But over here in Europe, it's like, the amount of times I basically have to do that whole going around your elbow to, like, get to a highway interchange.
Yeah.
And that's not including, there's a couple of, like, small cultural differences, which I think are really neat as far as the roads are concerned. But the achievements, man, this game has been out, let's call it 5 years longer than American Truck Simulator. And each game is adding at least one decent piece of geographic content, basically every year. One or two every year. And, yeah, pretty good so far, but it also means that ETS has, ETS starts with Central Europe, and I think Great Britain. So Central Europe and Great Britain, so that includes, Germany and all that good stuff, but also the British Isles and everything. But they have Scandinavia, they have passed the Baltic Sea, they have passed the Black Sea, they have France, they have Italy. The next expansion, I forget what it's called, but it's going to put in Spain and Portugal. They've got a little bit of the ways towards Russia, and there's a entire Russia DLC which is on the docket for the future. So a lot of content, not only existing but further on the rise. But then there's but I guess I'll say, one of the things Microsoft has really done well with achievements this last time around, and it makes sense because Microsoft is the one who created achievements as like a unified platform situation. This past generation, Microsoft added actual achievement tracking. So now when you have achievements that are like, you need to do 100 of a thing or 250 of a thing or make progress on these cities or whatever, you get little bars in your achievement tracker that tell you how many of them that you've gotten. And I wish that was a little bit nuanced like World of Warcraft, so it would actually check off, in the example of ETS, hypothetically, it would check off like specific cities. You need to go to these cities, and you could like do the little drop down like you do in WoW and see what cities you haven't been to that don't have the check mark next to them. Like, that would be nice. But it's still better. And so some of the Euro Truck Simulator achievements actually have achievement progress on them, which is kind of nice. But certainly not all of them. And there's a couple of achievements I'm going to have to actively go out of my way to do, such as things you might not think of. So, okay, transporting heavy cargo is an expansion. Like think of them like the difference between an expansion to The Sims and a stuff pack. So there are like, I did my first special transport this morning by accident. I didn't realize that's the type of mission I was picking, but that was really cool. That was like, so you have like a very, very big, heavy piece of equipment, and you basically have, like down on the highway, like you have sometimes, you have an escort vehicle in the front and back. You have to change lanes with them. You have to, like, the cops are, like, moving highway, like, transportation stuff out of the way. And it's really neat. It's super slow, but you really have to, like, keep your distance properly and pay attention to what's going on and know when to slow down so you don't, like, run up on them or accidentally pass them. You have to keep a certain distance between the car in front of you and the car behind you. I'm like, wow, I am super fucking tired right now, but like this is engaging me. Like I am here for this. But
Now,
there's one. Go ahead.
when you're what level of difficulty are you playing? Like, do you have like where everything is manual, and like you have to like do like shift up, shift down for everything, and like what are you playing on, like a keyboard, or do you have the actual wheel itself?
I am playing with a Series X controller.
Oh,
I have modified all of the controls so that they basically go off of the controller with a couple of things. It's not full controller support because basically it was kind of retroactively added controller because Microsoft put in that big effort for the DirectX control schemes and stuff like that. So I don't think either game started with controller support. But I do have mine set on manual shifting, not including clutch, because I just don't have the buttons for that. That wouldn't
yeah.
like me having face buttons that go up and down in gears
You'd have to hold like the left trigger and then press up and A at the same time, and that's just like a freaking
and when you're with a
headache.
controller, that just is not acceptable because one is supposed to be for gas and the other one is supposed to be for brake, so you can't just use your triggers for things like that. That's I used to say no bueno, but I'm playing Euro Truck Simulator, so that's Tresmol. That's Tresmol. I don't actually know if is no bueno also. Wait, no bueno. What is that?
Me.
Spanish?
Yeah, I mean, if you're like,
So I don't have that deal. So that DLC doesn't exist yet. So I couldn't no bueno just yet. But Tresmol, I could do Tresmol.
And where's that from?
Could also
That
say
is
muy
French.
mal.
That is very bad.
You could say muy male.
Muy mal. So is that's
Very
just
bad.
another version of very bad?
Yeah.
I work at a Spanish restaurant here in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and usually when I drop something off at a table because I'm a food runner and bar back, it's usually just people from the Midwest, and I could just be like, "Oh, this is this dish," and blah blah blah. But I only get nervous when I clearly know the people are from Spain, because like I have to nail this, like how the dish is prepared. Also, being that I'm Mexican American who doesn't really speak Spanish, they're just gonna look at me like, "What are you? What is going on here?" It's like, is everybody like?
Who are you? You
Yeah.
imposter.
He was like, "Bring." I'm like, oh. I always know like they're Spanish because they're always like really tall and blonde, and they're always like, they have the lisp, the blah blah. But they'll say "C" like "the," like that, which is pretty cool because that goes back to King Philip, because King Philip literally had a lisp, and everybody in the court was like, "Okay, we're just
Better
gonna."
lisp up.
Yeah, this is how we do it now. Don't you dare say C like how you usually say C, or you will die.
I just realized something is a little out of whack. I stopped at a rest area before I turned off the game last time, but my character isn't rested.
Oh no.
Okay, I have
Time to do it
27. I have 27 hours 40 minutes left in this transport. My arrival time is currently listed as 14 hours, so I got plenty of time to sleep. What time is it? 15 in the afternoon. Oh, that's another thing. Euro Truck Simulator starts defaulted on 24-hour schedule, so I have to do like it's 15 in the afternoon, as opposed to saying 3.
No, we are stinky Americans.
That's true. Well, I mean, I am purposely learning the distance differences in kilometers to miles. I like to never turn off of when I'm in another country in a video game. I like to not turn off their measurements because I want to be able to get the hang of them and learn them. And also, the American system is fucking stupid, so I'd like us to get rid of it. But barring that, so basically what I've got is 100 kilometers is roughly 62 miles. And I'm just using that as an equation to try and figure it out all the time. But man, there is... Oops. Oh, I could speed up. Damn. I can speed up, but then I got to make a right angle turn. So one of the other things that so Euro Truck Simulator achievements, I don't think any of them are going to be hard. Oh wait, let's back up to, you asked me what difficulty I'm playing at. So I'm playing with manual controls, on a Series X controller, X/S controller.
Very cool.
I don't have that system yet, but the controller works with Xbox One, and my Xbox One controller started having bumper problems, so I just replaced it. But I'm playing with manual controls. I've got stuff like lights and head beams are on my D-pad. I've changed it so that all the F keys, which don't properly represent on my keyboard anyway, because of my using an Apple keyboard, so Windows likes to throw a fit with whether it recognizes my control, my all the way up to my like F19, I think. Yeah, F19. So I've moved the F1 through 10 actually over onto the numpad keys. So periodically, if I need to interact with the mini-map, I reach up with my hand and tap on the number pad, which is perfectly acceptable for me to like have as an additional thing. I've always said I'm okay with using certain interface things like that for gaming in addition to a controller. It's just that I just straight up prefer a controller. So I mean, if I could have a $1,500 steering wheel, that'd be great. But hey, I got a Series X controller. It gives me force feedback in both of my trigger fingers when I'm like going off the left or right side of the road. Oh, and Booster stuff in chat. Hi, Booster. How you doing?
Booster Gold.
I had no idea those controllers were that expensive.
The nicest one with like all the pedals and the force feedback and the one that give you resistance when you're turning left and right, which would be what I'd want if I was using a steering wheel, not just like the plastic, like you just have a steering wheel. Because at that point, what's the difference between that and, you know, using a Wiimote on its side? No offense to Wiimote, but basically. Just getting foods, Booster? That's cool. That's good to have you around. Oh, hey, Ranger, 4 of 5. I don't remember which one Ranger's. Oh, I think that's cross all the bridges in between Turkey and somewhere else. So I've got like one of those left. I just got a little pop-up for the achievement. I have to call it out because it doesn't actually get recorded on stream. Are you getting food on the way to stopping tonight, Booster? Are you preparing? Because I don't know, I've lost all time because I had insomnia earlier this morning. Oh, if you guys want to at all interact with the chat periodically, just so you know, because you're both in the Discord, if you go to the Hunterman channel of the Discord, then that should be... Oh, maybe that's the thing I forgot to start up. 1 second. Because that should be doing Restream, which will allow basically the Twitch chat and the Discord chat to talk on the same channel.
Oh, very cool.
But I do my best to speak aloud, especially because I'm a small streamer and not a lot of people watch, when people are talking in chat, so I'll just bring that up. So, as far as difficulty goes also, the game has random events that happen on the road, where there are wrecks, there are detours that need to happen because there's some kind of traffic problem or something. There are things that just crop up and like give you a new direction to go or what have you. I need to pull into the nearest way station apparently. And I have mine basically, those start like basically at a 10% or something. It's a slider bar. And I always move mine to like 20-25% because I'm like, no, make the road interesting. Like, you know, have stuff happen. Also, I generally tweak the rain up, but that was American Truck Simulator, in which in the West there's very little rain. But here in Euro Truck Simulator, it was like, I default to the rain amount you turned it up to in American Truck Simulator. I'm like, oh, okay. So,
like, I would assume there'd be like a lot more rain in the European Truck Simulator, only because of just like actual like literal like geography, because they have it in like basically the American Southwest, and California is mostly a desert. So
yep, I am. Yeah, like whoops, the the American Truck Simulator defaults to like, I'm just gonna call it, because it's the slider bar, I'm just gonna call it like 5% rain, and I moved it up to like 15 just because I at one point played the game for almost 2 weeks and never had rain, and I was like, okay, I want to know what happens when it rains, guys. Can I have some rain? I don't care how unrealistic it is. Like, it's not like you're including the red sky of the apocalypse when there's a forest fire in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, so give me a little rain. But over in Euro Truck Simulator, I was like, and I'm gonna need to turn up the rains already at 25%. Never mind, that's fine. I'm just gonna leave it there. All right, teach me. Oh, and also a fun one the other day. I had planned a break on my trip when I was going through some locations in the Scandinavia DLC, and I was like, okay, so when the sun is going down at this time, blah de blah, I'm gonna find a rest area because I'm doing this thing where I have enough time on a trip. I don't necessarily need the character to rest, but because I have so much time to get to the destination, I'm going to make the game fast forward through the sleep and get my character rested almost exclusively because I want to see more of the game world and it's freaking pitch black at night. And then I realized it was midnight and the sun hadn't gone down. And I was like, oh right, because that's so cool. Because Scandinavia.
So they actually did that detail where it's just dark. That's awesome.
Well, in this case, it was just light, but yes.
That's it.
I guess I don't know if the game goes through like, there's a weekly schedule, but there doesn't seem to be like a monthly situation, so I'm not really certain. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
Shiga shway.
There were people who were doing things that I do not think were appropriate for driving, and they almost crashed into me. So part of what I'm experiencing right now is that thing I was talking about, how like their roads have been here for so long. Lots of their trucking lanes go through residential neighborhoods, and I'm like, this would not be acceptable in America.
Oh yeah, there is just things are just everywhere. It's
I like things are everywhere. That's good.
It's everywhere.
So many things.
Like it's just like everything's like so just like compact, and they're like, oh yeah, this is where the tanner used to live, and the and the town's grave digger. So they had fun together.
I think I get what you're saying. But still, man, when you're driving down the highway, and then on the highway, effectively, like the highway at some point you didn't realize became an avenue, and so because it became an avenue, they're just okay to put a stoplight on the highway, and I'm just like, ew, no. And then, like, they have a lot more things that would be rest areas, but instead of being rest areas, they're gas stations. They literally have gas stations on the highway. And I'm like, okay, as somebody who's like, put a horn everywhere, Homer Simpson style, like, no, don't put gas stations directly off of the highway. What are you doing?
That sounds terrifying and extremely dangerous.
It at the very least, it does seem extremely dangerous to me.
Running speed.
But then again, additional stuff. Sometimes there's some interesting quirks that I'm like, you know what? That's not good or bad. That's just a cultural difference. And one of those big ones is a lot of places in Europe, they include on street signs, like, you know how you've got those green signs on the highway that tell you what cities are coming up? You know, on the right side of the road? On the highway? Yes. That's standard.
Yeah.
I see it in California. I don't know, you guys are responding, so like, what? Okay. In any event, in Europe, they will have cities at the bottom of that list that are behind you. to indicate that you're leaving them, and they will have red slashes through them. So that's not. I thought that was maybe confusing at first, but then I was like, no, it's more of a cultural thing. So they have listed on the signs when you are leaving a city, what city that is, and it's got a little red slash through it to indicate that you're not there anymore. And I was thinking to myself, that'd be really useful. I've got a couple of friends who are just terrible with directions, and that could be one of those situations where, if they saw, oh wait, I'm leaving such and such city, that's not good, that's actually where I need to be, like, that would have helped them. So I was like, you know what, that's indifferent, that's a cultural thing, like, that's not bad.
And I think it kind of helps because there's a lot of traveling that's going on around that area, so and a lot of tourists, so there's okay, this makes a lot more sense.
I am not so much a fan of most of their stoplights are on the close side of the intersection. You know how when you pull up to a stoplight in America and the lights they're hanging across the other side of the intersection?
Yeah.
In here, they're almost always over the side of the intersection you're approaching.
Ooh.
And to the point where they will have them over the two lanes, and then they'll have one at eye level over to the far side of the road. That's, I guess, if you're so close that you have to look over and see that. And I'm like, I don't know. I like being able to see the stoplight in front of me, but also their red, green, yellow is reversed. When their lights are red for you to be stopped, there is a blinking indicator of yellow showing when the light's about to turn green, and most people begin moving into the intersection starting when the light is going yellow.
Yeesh. So that sounds too confusing, especially if you're just driving at night. No, thank you.
Well, everything's confusing in driving at night because I don't have night vision in this game like I do in real life. It's one of those things I have trouble with in American Truck Simulator is since the game is representing what a normal person can see at night. Oh no, hold on, wait. Roundabouts. I had to look up a walkthrough on the internet about how roundabouts work. Or I should say, specifically multi-lane roundabouts.
Exit now.
When it comes to Truck Simulator itself, or just in general?
I mean, do you know how a multi-lane roundabout works?
I could probably wing it.
For a truck, no.
Also for a truck, no, is also a good answer. But, okay. So, I think at this point Americans probably have access to enough regular single-lane roundabouts that they get how it works. You approach the little triangles on the road that indicate where you're supposed to stop if you can't enter the intersection. And then if you can't enter the intersection because you can see that there's a vehicle on your left who's going circular through the roundabout, you don't enter. You wait like you would at a stoplight, and then when you can, you progress for. You know what? I'm going to rest at this area. Then if you can go forward, you go forward, and then basically you just travel around until you get to the turn that you want.
Gotcha.
And then you just pull off. But that is not how a multi-lane roundabout works, or at least a two-lane roundabout. A two-lane roundabout. Imagine there are 4 roads that go into this circular piece, right? And there are 2 lanes in every direction. When you enter a roundabout, you are permitted to, from the right lane, either go right at the next, at the turn that is on the right from where you're starting, or go quote-unquote straight through the road that's directly opposite you. One second. Go straight from the road that is directly opposite from where you start into its right lane. So basically, at a 4-way roundabout, you're allowed to go right from the right lane or straight from the right lane. But the left lane is not allowed to go right, but can go straight into the left straight lane, or the straight left lane, or it can go left into the left lane of the left side, or you can U-turn and come back the way on the other side, back towards yourself. And furthermore, I'm gonna have to go in car because I can't see anything. Oh no, it's raining. I can see even less. Let's see here. And furthermore, there's a little raised circular thing in the middle of the roundabout, and what that's for is for if you have a truck, you can still go into the left lane, and it's okay basically for your tires to go across the raised piece in the middle of the intersection. That's there for you to have enough room to not bump into anything. But also, trucks in a 2-lane roundabout have the right of way. So, and basically, you're not supposed to travel next to a truck in a 2-lane roundabout, which allows it so that, in case they need to swing wider, they can. So, as a regular vehicle, you're not supposed to be next to them. And I learned this all from a real quick video on the internet, because I was just like, at some point, okay, so that whole thing, the left lane entering the roundabout can go straight into the left lane of the opposite side of the roundabout from where it enters. Okay, somebody turned across me to the right to go into that left lane from where I was going from the left lane, and I was like, you just cut me off, what the hell? Like, I really had to look up and figure out how roundabouts work, basically. And I did, and now I get it, and it hasn't hurt me yet. I think I'm doing it right.
It sounds very complicated, and like more power to you for like figuring that out.
I mean, yeah, I sometimes call myself Mayor Hunterman because I'm big into like road design and city design, and almost inevitably when I'm playing like a racing game or a game like this, I start thinking about playing City Skylines or something, and how I would do it differently, because some of it is budget, a lot of it is time, some of it is just will, and I don't know who's in charge of the roads in South Carolina, but over the past decade, we've done stuff like fix the 385 Woodruff Road intersection in Greenville to the point where I'm like, man, this is like something I would have made. Like, this is good. Like, changing what lanes come onto and off of the highway at certain points, and how Woodruff Road actually connects. And, oh, look, a roundabout. Hold on. Thought. I gotta think. Nobody else is here. It's the middle of the night. I am yielding. Yielding is fine.
Exit now.
And yay! Okay, cool. To be clear, anybody who's listening, they currently can't see what I'm doing. I don't know what Mal's doing. Mal got quiet.
I'm here.
I believe you. What are you doing?
I'm in the middle of my turn on D&D, so give me just a second.
Oh, okay. Taking the scenic route achievement progress. I don't remember what that's for. I don't remember what that's for. I'd have to look that up. I'm kind of... Currently what I'm doing in the game is basically I'm trying to transport stuff to get... to just transport stuff and get money like you do, but I am purposely trying to travel to cities I haven't been to. Oh, and I just got a speeding ticket, so there's that.
So what's the next on your list for cities?
Currently, my aim is to drive myself to Lower Italy, and then take the ferry and travel up through France. And I haven't actually been to Great Britain yet, so I think I'm going to try and travel through France and on the way to Great Britain, and that's my current objective.
Nice.
Wait, what the hell? It's Saturday at 14:50. 14:50 would be the afternoon. Wait, where am I that it's this dark right now? What the hell? Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm looking at the arrival time. It's 4:27 in the morning. It is thunderstorms, though. I do that periodically. Sometimes I look at the estimated arrival time, and I think that's my current time, and I'm like, no, what? I'm not in Scandinavia. That shouldn't be right.
How many times crashed and jackknife your truck?
And had to be towed? And had to be towed, or just crash and jackknife my truck?
Yeah, and had to be towed.
I think once? And not in this game, American Truck Simulator. I don't remember if Mal was there for that. I know Mal has seen me have a wreck. I'm not gonna say how many wrecks, I really don't know, but actually, to the point where I was basically doing this mission that somebody else would have given up on, but I'm me. So I'm like, no, I persist. I gotta learn how to play this game. Like, I'm not somebody who's just gonna, like, give up willy-nilly. And so, I actually got towed back to, a major truck spot that was, like, a city or so behind me. And I ended up delivering that package really, really late. Because it took so long that I had to, like, sleep and everything. So the game's automated giving you grief, if you will, for not doing stuff is occasionally problematic. And one of those things is I got on that particular occasion, I actually got a fine for being too tired in my truck when I wasn't swerving and when, like, you wouldn't have known otherwise. And more importantly, I was parked about to hit the button to go to sleep, and a cop drove by and was like, "You're tired," and then gave me a fine. I was like, "Man, fuck you, bitch! Like, what the hell? What is your problem?" So rude. But yeah, I believe only totally jackknifed myself one time, and basically, I think because what actually happened was I turned it over and I couldn't recover it. I don't think I'm pretty sure I didn't, like, Austin Powers it. I think I just actually turned the vehicle over and couldn't do anything about it. Not that I haven't gotten close to crashing it a bunch of other times, because I have. But, sometimes you just, you gotta learn the weight of the cargo that you're transporting, and especially where its center of gravity is. That's when I forget what that was. Was that dynamite? No, that wasn't dynamite. That was before the dynamite. There was some liquid I was transporting that was exceedingly top heavy. And I did it like 2 missions in a row, and I was just like, what is this stuff? I don't want to transport this anymore. Like, it is dangerous.
Yeah, you really want to know the ins and outs of, dynamite when you're, transporting it. You'll probably have a bad time if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, are you aware of the concept of tangential learning?
I am not.
Okay. Tangential learning is one of my favorite things, especially in video games. Tangential learning is when, because you are doing a thing, or doing one thing, that you end up learning about some other thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, for example, if you play Final Fantasy VII and you look it up later and you find out that the Sephiroth is an actual thing in religion, for example.
Really?
Yeah, There you go. That's tangential learning. You look it up, you go, oh, wait, what is this thing? I don't remember what it does, but a Sephiroth is an actual object. But for me, it's playing games or going into locations I haven't been before. Like, one of my favorite things in Assassin's Creed is just that when they started doing the thing where the little pop-up would show up and talk about, like, a historical location you were near, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that, In Euro Truck Simulator, or in American Truck Simulator, I have now started to realize that what the diamond on the back of trucks and the number for the hazardous materials, since they're actually doing the simulation, I've now seen them on the road going, oh, I should actually not be as close to this truck right now. Like, that says 8. That's scary.
That's pretty cool. Like, what is a Sephiroth?
I would probably have to ask Siri at this point. I don't remember. I remember what it looks like. I don't remember what it's for. But I can do that. What is a Sephiroth?
Here's what I found.
Here's what you found? Oh no, that's going to require me to look at something. I'm driving. I can't just look at things. Was that the sound of somebody following me? Yes, it was. Mexabrit Tesla, thank you very much for the follow. It's most appreciated. Apparently, Siri could not give me a simple, straight answer that would be vocal into the microphone. She was like, "Here are some web results," but I remember I saw it in an episode of Extra Credits, back when Dan was doing the voice, and I remember thinking to myself, "Oh, see, you say that some people looked it up and they learned that, but I've never bothered to look up Sephiroth's voice, so I didn't know that." Or Sephiroth's name, I should say. Looking at his voice, that I don't know that would work.
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to tell me in the audience, because I don't remember. I remember what it looks like. I'm gonna probably insultingly say it looks kind of like a tambourine.
Really?
Yeah, like a shaker that would make noise. It's kind of what it looks like.
Oh, I know exactly.
Mexabrit is here to support small creators. Well, I am a very small creator, Mexabrit, so thank you very much. If you happen to see the chat, or if you happen to see the link for the YouTube channel, I could use 100 subscribers so I could have a custom URL, so that would be very handy. But thank you so much for the follow. If you want to chat me/us up, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, it's been great having the follow. That's most appreciated. So you found what a Sephiroth is?
I have.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Meaning emanations. There are 10 attributes, emanations in Kabbalah, in which Aaron Soft reveals himself continuously, creates both the physical realm and the chain of higher metaphysical realms, and the term is alternately transliterated into English as Sephiroth, singular, Seraphia, or Seraphim. It's basically and there's a picture that goes with it. There's basically like a dozen like circles with a bunch of geometry going all the way around. It's basically kind of like a metaphysical meditation. Kabbalah.
Yeah, that's what I thought that was an object. So it's just like a graph.
Yeah, it's kind of like a graph when it comes to like magic and all that stuff, which I know just about a penny of. So, but yeah, that's cool. That's cool that they actually, did that.
Hold on one second. Mexabrit, you say you subscribe? Oh wait, you mean to the YouTube channel? I was looking around going, I didn't get a notification for your. I was thinking subscription on Twitch. Everything's got similar names, I trip over it sometimes. But okay, so if you subscribe to the YouTube, thank you very much. 1.4 update does look really awesome. The lighting is really good, though I actually started playing Euro Truck Simulator 2 at the 1.4. I've been playing American Truck Simulator for basically the past month. Yes, subscribe to YouTube. I realized I was like, you subscribed? Wait, it didn't notify me that you subscribed, but you meant YouTube, and I get that. So I had a moment. But thank you very much for the subscription. I am currently putting up some Euro Truck Simulator or American Truck Simulator and eventually Euro Truck Simulator videos to the YouTube panel every night, and you can see my progress towards basically trying to go for 100% completion. I managed to 100% the base game of American Truck Simulator, including the Arizona DLC, right before I was about to, take a break from the game for a little bit until it went on sale, and then it went on sale the next day. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm still going. And ATS, you've been playing since 2018? Well, I have been playing since basically last month, but I'm having a good time. So tangential learning is just when you learn about a thing because of something else. One of the things that's super easy to do is if you've ever gone on that ADHD thing where you're trying to like search for a story or look up something on the internet and you end up at a Wikipedia link that describes it, and then you just start like opening tabs of all the other links in the Wikipedia of stuff you don't know, but you're trying to figure out what it is, and you just start having all these tabs. That's basically what tangential learning is, except for in video games, it's more specifically about, like, you didn't know that was a reference, but you looked it up and you're like, oh, that's actually a thing. Here's an interesting one. So, I have I have a super soldier character in a Lancer game that we're playing every Saturday, and part of her super soldierness is that she was genetically engineered, crossed with a whole bunch of, like, taking some of the better genomes from a whole bunch of different animals and stuff like that. And I made up this, if you will, alien shark that's indigenous to her home planet that she has a lot of genetic material from. Okay. Hey, Mexabret. Well, it was good having you. I hope to see you in the future, and I hope that you also playing the game have safe travels. Thank you very much. So at one point I did this downtime action, which basically got her super smashed drunk, and I had to roll a dice to, like, not lose. I forget, you can. There's like two things on the chart that you will lose if you don't win the roll, and you have to pick which one. So you lose your memory, you lose your dignity, you lose something else because you got so drunk in character. Yeah. It's a fun little system. But I succeeded on all those rolls, and part of the success was doing the throw basically for the genetic alterations on the character. And only at last game, when I was looking up details about sharks, because I was going to design her next mecha, because that's what they are. You're a mech pilot. The next mecha as a kind of like a little bit giant standing tank that kind of looks like a shark. I stumbled across a piece of information where I was like, oh, I guess that explains why she was able to succeed and not get drunk that one time. And everybody was like, what? I was like, it turns out that the liver is 25% of a shark's body weight.
Oh, wow.
And that was funny to me because, liver with concerns to alcohol. Excuse me, where am I being weighted? I'm not here. My weight is 22 tons. I may proceed. Cool. Rock on.
Yeah, so a shark could, like, you got a shark liver, you could just slam down shots all night and be fine.
I mean, that's what I'm telling myself about my character. Yeah, works for me. Let's see.
Go straight off.
Speaking of sharks, this is a terrible segue. I have to hop off because
it sounds like a Craig way about to happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was good to talk to you online. Mal, it was amazing always seeing you or hanging out with you. And in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be able to do it a lot more, and hopefully we can play a lot more. So,
what happens in 2 weeks' time, if you don't mind me asking? If you don't mind telling the internet.
Yeah. So right now I work 5 days a week with 60-hour days, or 60 hours a week, and I have to wake up at 5 a.m. And then I have like 1 day off, which is Sunday. But luckily, the restaurants are now opening back up, and I can like go back to the restaurant and not work two jobs. So yay! I could actually live and rest and like actually do kind of like
the minimum that people ask for and can't usually get. I hear you.
Exactly. So
like me trying to do this is only inconvenienced by me having to take a roommate to and from work, and me taking him to work with the last day. One of the few benefits to having to move in the next month or so is that he's moving first. So his last day at work was actually last Friday or Thursday, and so now I can like set whatever hours. Downside being, since I got to help him move, I actually kind of like at this moment on Twitch I've put myself on quote unquote vacation time, because I can't have a set schedule if I don't know exactly when I'm going to be needed to drive. Current plan is to go to the upstate on Tuesday, transporting his stuff up there, and then basically stick around through Easter and then come back. So, but that means lots of Euro Truck Simulator time, because if I take the computer with me, I'll have the game.
That's a good thing to do, I'd say. But, folks, you at home, I've been Chuck Beers, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
That is probably true. Later, man.
Take care.
Turn right.
What? 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 That is a very concerning sign. To my left, 4 red X's is what it says on the road sign. And I'm
No
like,
bueno.
and I'm like, is that just the video game saying I can't go that way? Because that's what the on-screen indicator over the road was like. Yeah, this is not a path you can take. But I'm used to the street sign still actually saying street names, not being like, no, X's, don't. I'm like, what? Oh, all right. I wasn't gonna. My bad. But Europe is beautiful, though. Regardless of how much critique I have about how they do their roads, it's very lovely. Let's see, I'm on my way to Szeged? Szeged.
Turn left.
Oh, this is an actual stop sign. I find myself doing stop signs or suggestions a lot less in this game than I did in American Truck Simulator. Because they actually have suggestion signs now in Euro Truck. There are a number of intersections that do not have stop signs and just straight have a little yield sign. Like where they'd have the stop sign. I don't mean like there are some yielding areas like you have in America. I mean like legit where there would be a stop sign. Instead they just have a yield sign. And it's like the more casual equivalent of having a 2-lane intersection, I guess. It's like, yeah, approach softly and then just go through it. And I'm like, again, what I'm used to in America, that seems like that would be more dangerous. This game is getting me to think a lot about the train simulator games that they have and also the farming simulator games.
Yeah.
I don't know how entertaining those would be. They might be pretty entertaining. Oh, I am currently making progress on a completely separate achievement, though. There is an achievement for traveling more than 1,000 kilometers in every brand of truck in the game, and you have to own the truck that you're using it in, that you're going for the achievement in. So, I've picked a truck that I will eventually pass off to an employee, and I think this trip alone will make it 1,000 kilometers. So that one will be checked off. I'll be good on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you're split multiple ways, Mal? What multiple ways are there? So you've got Valheim open, I think, and you're also playing a D&D game.
Yeah, I closed Valheim because I couldn't concentrate on it when you were nonstop talking. So I was like, oh, hell no, I can't pay attention to all 3.
Oh, well, my bad. I didn't want to take you away from your game.
Turn right.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I was dual boxing anyway, and he was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. But you were not letting me respond to you much. You were just like really explaining hard to Charles, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm listening.
Well, that's kind of the trick about, like, on Twitch, you pretty much always have to be talking, but
Yeah, I know that.
the problem is I run out of things to talk to myself about, because while anybody watching may not have seen the last time I was talking about a particular topic,
Get ready.
I feel
Turn right.
I feel I'm actively aware of repeating myself because I do it often enough that I don't just bother other people, I bother myself. And so if I have some kind of anecdote I want to talk about, once I've talked about it once on stream, I cringe inwardly every time I say that anecdote again, even though I might be talking to somebody who's new in chat who didn't hear me say that 2 hours ago. Or an hour ago, or whatever.
Yeah.
Looks like the character's getting tired. How much time do we have left on this trip? Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I fucked up somewhere. I don't have enough time to sleep again.
Hmm.
Yeah, job time remains 8 hours and 30 minutes. Worse than that, I don't have enough rest on me to make the destination. So I've... Well, you know, I started this while I was having insomnia, so it's appropriate that I fuck this up at some point. But it is still bothersome that happened. So basically, I'm in a situation now where, like, since you can't set an in-character alarm, which, you know, would be a mod if anybody wants to make it, I'm totally down for that. So you could wake yourself early through a, in like a nap situation. So since you always sleep for like 9 hours, my destination needs to be gotten to in 8.5 hours, so I can't sleep. So at some point here, I'm going to get fined for driving tired, because the estimated arrival time for me is currently about 5 hours, and I'm going to start falling asleep at the wheel at like 3.5. But, hey, you know, maybe we can go for the aforementioned jackknife earlier in the conversation. I have never actually pushed the game to the point where I was driving in red for so long that I auto-crashed or something. So we can see what happens. For science.
Hmm.
So, I don't know if you said, like, what all are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
You could do a minor crash purposely, because my wife's actually watching you over on the TV.
Well, like I've said many times, if you want to throw like 100 bits, I'll crash. I'd crash this truck for $1.
For closer.
Say what?
We'll probably teleport you to a service station that's closer. But then it'll like take you hours.
David says it's probably sleep on the keyboard. It's probably sleep on the keyboard? Wait, what? Oh. You're lurking, David. Okay, cool. David, before you go, can you tell me, do you automatically crash if your character gets too tired? Or do you just get a fine if a cop sees you driving tired? Because I don't have enough time to rest while I'm on this trip, as I was just explaining to Mal. Like, if you're still there. After, what happens past red sleep? Do you just automatically black out at some point? Like in real life? I'd be curious. Sorry, what were you saying about wife watching, Mal?
She's watching you do this right now. She's over on the TV.
Ah. Well then, for her, I will briefly re-explain the situation. I can press this button. I can see that my remaining time on this job is roughly 7 hours 40 minutes. I will need to sleep in less than 3 hours, which is less time than it takes to get to the destination. But since I don't have more than 9 hours on the trip that I'm making, I can't fall asleep because, unlike in real life, I can't, for example, get a power nap. I can't fall asleep for 2 hours and get some sleep.
For this much time.
Yeah, you always sleep for the same amount of time, and worse, you can back-to-back sleep if you accidentally press the button twice, which I have done at least, I'm going to say, 4 times in all my time with ATS and ETS. Trucker Wolfie says, you get a fine and start dozing off. Or David says, nope, the screen goes black for a few seconds, and the black outline gets longer and longer, and then you'll crash? Okay, wait, so David says I will crash at some point. Turn off fatigue simulator in gameplay options? Psh, I'm not doing that. Like, no, I'm playing the game, alright? We got fatigue on. That's happening. But, I'm just wondering if the game makes me automatically crash at a certain point.
I think he said it did.
Well, David said it did. Wolfie said that it's just that the blackout time gets longer and longer. And if that's what happens, then I can do like I do in real life and account for it by, you know, slowing down and trying to be aware of, like, feeling the rumble in my hand for if I start going off the right side of the road and stuff like that. But I'm just wondering if the game goes, you've crashed. Like, automatically you crashed.
You have crashed. Go to nearest service station.
On some occasions, the service station might be closer to my destination, but again, or conversely, actually, let me follow that up with a different question. So, David, since I know you've got the experience here, is there a way to make your character wake up sooner than a full rest, or must you always full rest? Because if I could wake myself up, take a power nap, wake myself up, this wouldn't be a problem right now, or other times. David says, yeah, you'll crash because you wouldn't be able to control your truck once you black out. Makes sense. It's good to have all you guys here. But yeah, I try and give myself in reference to the challenge question much earlier in the sitting, I try and give myself a little bit of challenge. That's why I turn the events up and stuff like that so that they happen more often. Because you can literally turn off the traffic. And if you turn off the traffic, what game are you playing? Like, what's going on? Why is that cop there? There's nothing wrong with the street! Where's my copy of that movie? I need to watch that movie.
Exit left.
Have you seen Falling Down? That is the movie I reference when I talk about that.
I don't know.
I recommend it as you're grumpy, you're having a bad day, like you can kind of feel better watching that movie. At least I feel better when I watch that movie.
93, right? I think I've seen this.
Oh wait, was that cop trying to block off the... Yeah, he was. He was trying to block off the road. Well, I'm glad I ignored you, you jerk off. There was nothing wrong with the street.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Okay. Let's see. David says, nope, you always sleep for 9 or 8 hours. I advise you to sleep and deliver later than black out because the roads on ETS are sneaky. So you recommend I be late. Okay. Let me see. My current arrival time is listed as about 3 hours. My sleeping will be forced in approximately 1 hour 45 minutes. I will deliver the cargo roughly 4 hours late if I take a nap. So let's look on the map where the nearest rest area is. Here's a rest area. David recommends I take a rest, so I'm going to do that. Okay, alright, fine. Be specific. Alright. So I will plan for a rest then. You know, there's only one place now that I've traveled in Europe that actually has worse roads than Europe. Shout out to you, Pennsylvania.
Fucking Pennsylvania!
Yeah, because you'll literally hate yourself if you don't take a nap. Literally hate yourself if you don't take... I'm not sure of your wording there. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, we got Beck's Wine over here on the left. We got Bakansa, Berestia, and Pex on the right. I probably said none of that right. If you happen to be European and you're watching me, feel free to phonically correct me so I can start saying your names right. Because I do actually want to say names right. Hey, there's a link in the chat for anybody who might be watching for what games I'll be playing next month on stream. I mean, you know, games in addition to Truck Simulator. It is a poll of poll. It is a poll made up of the games that have not been finished from all the polls I've done in the past half a year that got at least 3 votes and I didn't finish. So, and it's ranked choice voting. That's a whole thing. David says you could have continued if this was ATS because we have got wider roads. What? Oh wait, so I'm not imagining that. The roads are more narrow in ETS? I thought I was imagining that. Wait, what? What the hell? What is this? What is this cop doing? What is this? Why are there... No, they keep showing up on the road with, like, no crashes or anything, with, like, little, cones and a cop car. Like, I literally just drove around when there's no wreck here, as I keep saying there's nothing wrong with the street, and I don't know what they're doing. They're not giving me an alternate path to go around? Like, I don't know what that's all about. What the hell is that? That is now the 3rd time. They're there to do what now? Say that again, Mal?
They're there, ready to find you.
Okay, so what normally happens is there's like a wreck or something on the road as an event, and the cops cordon off the area, and they're like, clearly it's done in such a way that you need to take like the exit as opposed to going straight through or something like that.
Maybe the event ended and they're just still there and about to drive off.
I don't know if the events end or if they're like generated, but the point being, there's just like a cop who's sitting in like the left lane, and he's got caution cones in the right lane. Oh wait, oh that's right, you can see it now because your wife's watching.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a bug, because when you pull up on that, the fuck are you supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, where do you go? You just on the road. What are you supposed to try and turn the truck around and go back up the road in the direction you came from? Like, what the hell are you supposed to do when that happens? David says, yeah, the roads are more narrow and they have more bends. Promos just make it more narrow than ATS. Promos? Oh, I think you mean pro mods, which I've heard is a thing. Okay, so we're going to take this rest, and we're going to, unfortunately, have to make do with the fact that our cargo is going to be late. And also that when we're done resting, it's going to be dark as all get out. Okay, so we're going to... Yes, I am getting tired, and I do intend to park. Thank you. Oh, hey, at least there's...
That was me yawning, not your character.
No, that was the... I mean, that was both, actually. You yawned at, like, the same time.
You yawned the same time I did?
Yep. Alright, our delivery is now late. Our customer expects a delivery very soon. Make sure you arrive on time. No, I don't think I'm going to arrive on time, but thanks for the pressure.
Imagine how many fines you were about to get just by driving while sleeping and then crashing.
I mean, hold on. Speaking of fines and crashing, I see cop lights up ahead.
They're blocking off only one side of the road.
Okay, see now there's an accident. Wait, hold on.
Oh man, you turned on your high beams. They're gonna find you for that too.
Do you guys want me to go around? There's a plane on the road.
Why? There's a plane on the road?
There's a plane on the road.
Jesus Christ.
That's happened in American Truck Simulator, but I'm gonna try and go this direction around these guys.
How are you gonna get around them?
Shoulder. Oh, hi, invisible wall. Fuck you, bitch.
You may not. You must wait.
Must I wait? I've never waited on an event. Do I have to wait on them to clear it out?
I guess.
They literally are taking up the whole road. This has never happened before.
That's unfortunate.
High beams? What about high beams? Do you want me to have them on?
No. You got like a bunch of cars behind you, like nudging into your behind?
Maybe soon. I'm gonna try and... I don't think I can go past this. What am I doing exactly? What am I waiting on? It'll not have to wait on an event? David, please take the time for like grammar purposes. I don't know what you're saying. Like, you do not have to wait on an event? Okay, well then what do I do, David? I've never had a situation in which the entire road is blocked off and I can't go around. I've always had the ability to go around before. Do I just go wide into the... What the f... Okay, game, hold on. I was in the wrong gear. What the... I am so confused right now. This has never happened before. I can't go on the left because the back end of the helicopter will be in the way. I can't go on the right because there's an invisible wall. It's David's saying you do not have to wait on the event. I'm like, well, then the fuck do I do? You probably want to F7? What's F7? What's this? View services and adjustments? Wait, what? 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 How would that help me, David? How would, like, doing any of those things help me? Let's see if I can go on this dirt path that's on the side of the road. Is the binding box all the way over here?
You can't go any wider, Megan, because there's an invisible wall.
There's an invisible wall on the shoulder. Let's see if there's an invisible wall here. Oh, okay. It looks like I can go off here in this dirt.
Oh,
There doesn't seem to be
dirt.
the invisible wall over here.
What?
I've never had... In ATS, every time there's, like, a wreck or something, there's always a situation that the game gives you as a path to go. I've never had them just block off the road and be like, you can't go forward. That's never happened before.
No go. Only
Well,
stay.
clearly I was able to do something, David. I made it work. I made it work. So that was, let's just call that shenanigans. But you know, anybody who's watching, I hope you were entertained by shenanigans. But yeah, when I tried to go to the right of the vehicle on the shoulder, it was like invisible wall, which I heard. I actually was one of the few things I went across when I was looking up like the differences between ETS and ATS, because man, I always have that concern when you basically play an earlier game in a series after you played a later game, if you didn't play that first game in the first place, that, you know, something about the way the earlier game does something less efficient than the later game will like upset you. And one of the things was, oh yeah, when you get like this event, there's like a binding box that makes it so you can't drive through stuff unlike ATS. And I'm like, ooh, I hope whatever that is doesn't come up, but I think it just did. But luckily I was able to go way far off the road. That's why I said ETS roads are sneaky. Alright, I'll take your word for it. They're certainly more spaghetti. They're certainly more spaghetti. Oh, I'm speeding. Well, let's solve that. I find myself driving in-cab a lot more in ETS because there's a lot of tunnels, there's a lot of trees close to the road. Why am I going 50 all of a sudden? Speeding violation on my way down to 50 miles an hour. You know what? I'm about to go broke. I just started this game. I don't have a lot of money. I think I've lost like $2,000 in fines on this trip. I mean, yes, I started it while I was having an absolutely abysmal bout of insomnia, but still. There are more snake roads. Oh, yeah, getting on and off highways is... It's almost Pennsylvania bad. You can look forward to that Pennsylvania DLC in the future. Yikes. Pennsylvania's been making an effort to fix a lot of their roads, but Mal, have you driven through Pennsylvania?
Many times.
So you know the phenomenon where there's like 5 exits off, but only 1 exit back onto the highway?
Yes.
Fucking hate that. Whose idea?
We drive up to Massachusetts every year, except obviously this last year.
I
to see
mean,
my
right,
father.
worldwide pandemics, what are you gonna do?
And there were several ways to go through Pennsylvania, and it is torturous.
Keep right.
We
Wait,
even
well,
decided to go the more
hold on,
expensive route.
just a quick second. David's saying, turn on your engine brakes and automatic retarder. What are my engine brakes?
Right.
Also make use of your... I use cruise control. Cruise control is dedicated to a button, David. You don't have to worry about cruise control. But what's the engine brakes and retarder? Like, what are those... What do they do that I should have them turned on? Are they just to make the driving easier? Or, like, I'm not really having trouble with the driving. Sorry, go on, Matt.
we drive up there every year. We decided to even go the more expensive toll route so we could go by Niagara Falls a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Much better, because the mind-numbing drive through Pennsylvania, good God, it just, there's nothing. Like, you look left, you look right, it's shit and less shit. Or shit and more shit. Just help. There's nothing here. No man's land.
And like in any one time in Pennsylvania, especially during the summer though, there's a minimum of 30% of the roads under road construction. Like minimum.
Yep.
So if we get Pennsylvania DLC and they don't have the roads like higher events of construction, I'm gonna be like, this is taking me out of it. This is unrealistic.
I know, right? He was like, nah.
Go straight up.
Nah.
They don't They don't make you go above your set cruise. Oh, I'm not really worried about it. I mean, you got to keep in mind I'm doing distracted driving now. I'm basically talking on my cell phone while I'm driving. So I mean, that and you missed the beginning of this run, which was this morning while I was having an absolutely terrible bout of insomnia. I didn't even remember to take it off of the like full screen of myself in the smaller screen of the game, like my intermission screen, for like the first half an hour of that trip. So, which is this trip. It is good to know that I can continue a run partway through though, because the game will actually save exactly where I am. Like, it doesn't real time say you missed out on this delivery or something. So that's good.
It's like, boy, I had to sleep.
I was purposely driving myself until I couldn't drive anymore, until things started getting blurry, and I'm like, okay, I think the body might let me pass out now. And then I did that thing where, like, even then, the body tried to fight me, right? I woke up a couple of times. It helps a lot. Well, I mean, I hear you. I don't, to David. I know it, I don't really have a problem maintaining speed. What I have a problem with is all of Europe's guardrails. Bratislava discovered.
I'm sorry, I had to call attention to that one.
What?
Instead of Europe, you went Europe's.
Europe's? Yeah, all of Europe's got... Wait, what was I supposed to say?
Europe's.
All of... What did I say?
Keep right.
Europe's.
And then turn right.
Not Europe's. Europe's. What is this, a yump? How many times have you done a yump in your life?
I haven't done many yumps, but you do a lot of Europes.
I've done at least one yump. Minimum one yump. Do you know what a yump is?
Instead of a roof.
I just realized that my Rocket League soccer ball is bouncing around in the top right corner of the screen. I was trying to figure out what those lights were. I didn't realize that the little ball was lit up. Do you see it? You see my Rocket League ball?
And then turn right.
Yeah, I saw it. It's like, what is moving?
And that's why you shouldn't have dangly things in front of you while you're driving. Let's see. David says, I hate the guardrails there a lot. Just pissing me off. Oh, yeah. What the hell is up with the deal of very narrow single-lane roads with guardrails? What is wrong with your society that you need such guardrails to exist? I'm just saying, Europe, you have problems. Guardrails, what the fuck? Okay. Let's zoom in on this. Oh, cool. I can go left. But they didn't... You know, I just realized there's basically no turning arrows in Europe. I just now realized that. They have almost no turning arrows.
Get ready to turn left.
Actually, I can't think of a single... Oh, there's another Mercedes-Benz. Could have used that earlier, thanks.
Turn left.
I'm doing okay, Alex. How you doing? I had to fight off an absolutely abysmal bout of insomnia earlier today, and this basically failed mission is the end result. And I'm not going to just fail it once. Here we go. I'm going to try and do the hard park, I think. Yeah, let's go for the hard park. Where's that? Oh, that's disgusting. But you know what? We've already done all this amount of time. Let's go for it. Crazy nonsense has happened on this trip. Let's go for the hard park. I know they want you staying in the row, but you know what? I'm not claustrophobic. Genetically speaking, like possibly a little bit passed down from my mom. My mom is a little claustrophobic. But I don't like when there's like construction on the road, even here in America, when there's like the cement barriers on either side, and it just really, I can't see the rest of this parking lot right now. I'm pretty convinced there's a thing right there. Yes, there is. I can't see it though. Oh, my nice new lights are very nice. Oh, there's like a wall right here. When I turn on my high beams, I have like 6 sets of lights. That's awesome. Alright, in any event. But like when they do the cement barrier thing for the construction, and oh shit, I did not see those. Oh, they only pop on when I do my reverse lights? Can't I just have my reverse lights on all the time? I'm immediately going to regret this. But you know what? There's an achievement for having the game auto park for you. So, which I don't have yet. It's on my list. If you're gonna get a truck, get a Volvo or more horsepower or Scania. Yeah, I've got the Scania right now. I was debating the Volvo a little bit, but what I know is whatever is that diamond-shaped truck brand that's over here in Europe is absolute crap. None of their vehicles have any traction. I will be getting them last for the achievement because that shit was bad. I did a lot of quick jobs because you have to when you're making money at the start of this game, and so I was kind of like trying to keep track of taste testing each of the trucks, like which truck do I want to go for. Funny story, I wanted to go for the Mercedes-Benz first because that's the one that felt the best to me, but I didn't have a Mercedes-Benz dealership I could fast travel to pick up a Mercedes-Benz, and then when I finished picking out this truck and I was leaving my home warehouse, the Mercedes-Benz dealership was somehow next door to me, and I'd never actually tripped over it. Oh, what? I had that, and I screwed it up. Rolnet? Might be Rolnet. It might be Alex. Whichever is the one that looks like it's like, which its logo is roughly like 4 rectangles all laid against each other in a diamond shape. I freaking hate how their vehicles handle. Like, no joke. Hey, we're gonna call that good enough. Test drive limited, 1 of 7. Okay, so I now got 1,000 kilometers in one of the types of trucks that I own myself in the game. So that's 1 of 7. So at my next opportunity, when I'm getting an employee or something, I will get a new truck, but I will get the truck. They will get this truck, so I can start driving the next truck because I'm actively going after that achievement. Oh, I'm sorry, that was David who said Rolnut. Yep, the diamond logo truck is the equivalent to having a Volvo in ATS, just trash. I hear you. Alright, so for anybody who is watching later on YouTube, I thank you for watching. This has been Euro Truck Simulator 2, presented by Improvision Entertainment. I have been Hunter Mutt.
I'm Malcontat.
And we will see you in the future.
In the future!
I could see the future.